One of the biggest misconceptions about remodeling or even building a custom home is that it's all about how a house looks. It's not. Beautiful kitchens are easy, beautiful bathrooms are easy, and anyone can copy something they saw on Pinterest or Instagram. The hard part is creating a home that feels right. The spaces we live in shape how we feel every single day, so a truly great home should give you a sense of peace, comfort, calm, and joy the moment you walk through the front door. If you hate your house or your kitchen or your bathroom every time you walk in the door, it will never be your sanctuary. If you are a fan of social media makeovers, at any given time you can pull up hundreds of photos and videos of people trying to remake uncomfortable spaces into pretty spaces. And that seems like a no-brainer, right? House is dark, paint it a lighter color and add lighting. Kitchen sucks to cook in, replace the appliances and maybe paint the cabinets. Bathroom falling apart, replace the flooring and update the hardware. These seem like practical, affordable ways to bring comfort into a home that's uncomfortable to live in. In reality, though, new paint and flooring and hardware isn't going to make you love your dysfunctional spaces any more than you do right now. Over the years, I've learned that how a home makes you feel isn't about the finishes, fixtures, or trends. It's about creating a home that supports the life you want to live. It's about creating a feeling of comfort and serenity. This lesson was really brought home for me a few years ago when we built a house for one very special couple, Ruth and Carlos. They came to us wanting to remodel a home they had purchased for retirement several years before, but had been using it as a rental. They were moving here from California and had spent almost those 2 years dreaming about how they wanted to transform this house into their forever home. But unfortunately, once we got into the project, we discovered the house couldn't be saved. Structurally, it was beyond repair. So instead of remodeling, we ended up designing and building a brand new custom home. At first, I approached that project the way many builders do. We are trained to begin with the end in mind, and in most cases, the end is eventual resale. How do we need to build this house to appeal to the most people when it comes to sell? I was checking boxes. 3 bedrooms, check. 1.5 bathrooms, check. I wasn't thinking about how the house would make Ruth and Carlos feel. I was thinking about resale value. I was thinking about what future buyers might want. I developed a great 1,500 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath floor plan for them and was excited for our first meeting to go over that plan, which I was sure that they were going to love. Imagine my surprise then, when not only did they not like the plan, but they wanted the new house to be very closely based on the one we had torn down. Kitchen in the same place, living room in the same place, 2 of the 3 bedrooms in the same place. At first, I was disappointed that they didn't like the new plan. And as we got further into our conversation, I even started to question some of their decisions. For example, they only wanted 1 bathroom. They also didn't want a closet in one of the bedrooms because Ruth wanted to use that for a library. I remember telling them I would never build a new home in 2023 with only 1 bathroom. And for resale value, you need a closet to be able to call that library a bedroom. In other words, you're spending a lot of money building a 2-bed, 1-bath house. And they just smiled and said, we don't care about resale. This is our forever home. We're building it for us, and when we're gone, the kids can deal with it. They went on to describe exactly how they live and how they would like to function in their new home. That experience changed something in me and in the way that I approach custom design, building, and remodeling. They were right. I understood they weren't building a house for the next owner. They were building a home for the life they wanted to live, and that's exactly what a home should be. It should fit your needs, your personality, and your family. Your home shouldn't be designed for the mass market. It should be designed for you. So we stopped designing for the market, and we started designing for Ruth and Carlos. We talked about how they wanted to spend their mornings, where Carlos would paint, how Ruth wanted a quiet and serene library, how they entertained, how the light moved through the house, how the ceilings would make the rooms feel more open. Every decision became less about the pretty and more about what would make them feel peaceful, comfortable, and truly at home. Today, when I drive by that house, I'm struck first by how it looks, how it's sited on the lot, set back from the road and in the trees. And yes, it is gorgeous. But that's not what I think about. I think about when I took them on their very first walkthrough. When you walk through the front door, there is a wow moment with the vaulted ceiling and the modern organic materials. But more importantly, there is this overwhelming feeling of peace. It feels warm. It feels welcoming. It feels like a hug. It feels like Ruth and Carlos. And that's because their personalities, their dreams, their love for one another, and the life they have built together are woven into every single room of that home. I've been in multi-million-dollar homes that look beautiful but left me feeling completely cold. I've also walked into 900 square foot homes that immediately made me feel relaxed and at peace. I've learned that size doesn't create peace, money doesn't create joy, and trends don't create comfort. Thoughtful function creates comfort. Thoughtful planning creates joy. Thoughtful design creates peace. Homes where families gather, where grandchildren make memories, where holidays become traditions, and where ordinary Tuesday evenings somehow feel really special. Your home is the backdrop for almost every meaningful moment in your life. Morning coffee, family dinners, birthday celebrations, quiet evenings, retirement, grandkids running through the house. Those moments deserve more than a beautiful backdrop. They deserve a home that truly supports the life you want to live. From extremely well thought out flow and function to the materials, finishes, and colors that enhance every single space, your home should feel like you. That's why at Sandland Construction, we don't begin by asking what style of cabinets you want or what colored countertops you're choosing. We start with a different question. How do you want your home to feel? Because once we understand that, the design becomes much clearer. If you're thinking about remodeling or building a custom home, don't start with Pinterest. Don't start with Instagram. Start with your life. Think about the way you want to feel every time you walk through your front door. If you'd like help discovering what that looks like for you, we'd love to have a conversation. Because at the end of the day, a beautiful home isn't enough. Your house should feel like the very best place in the whole world to come home to.